What's going on, guys and gals? Stock Jock here, up $566 in the first hour of trading. I was up quite a bit more than this. I was up over 900, gave half of it back, as you can see, and actually ended the day giving even more back, but uh, I think I ended the day around $350. So definitely a choppy day, a couple good wins and then a bunch of chop that nickel and dime me back down to 350. But anyway, this is the first hour of trading. Finished the first hour up $566. Let's get into the trades. So my first trade is MBVX. This one was on watch in the pre-market. They had some news out. I think it was phase data for one of their drugs, and it just really didn't have any volume. Wasn't doing anything, and then all of a sudden you'll hear the audible alert go off. This is a very popular scanner that is used by a lot of chat rooms. A lot of people use it. When it starts to hit that scanner, I immediately jump into the stock because I know that a lot of people are going to be watching this stock for basically an opening range breakout. You can kind of see here right in the middle of the screen that it's for the first 5 minutes of trading, it really didn't do anything. Now it's breaking to the top side of basically going high of day. So when it starts doing that, it starts hitting people's scanners. People that had it on their pre-market watch list are like, oh yeah, let's try this thing out. So I immediately jump in, and it paid off. As you can hear, other chat rooms start jumping in. A lot of volume starts flowing into this thing. I sell in 1,000 share lots just because I wanted to make sure I had profit, and I was holding an extra 1,000 to see if it would go any higher. It just looked like it was gonna, fade around the 250 level, and I ended up selling for a very nice win.
Kind of small winner, didn't really hold up very well. MBVX we were watching earlier.
I'm long MBVX
Long
217.
MBVX for a scalp off the scanners. That one I wasn't sure was going to work, but now it's starting to open up a little bit. So long MBVX, and I'll add over 250. Watching the added on MBVX.
Sold half 253. Sold the rest 250.
So we've got a high right now of 260.
So the next trade is CHCI. This one, again, it starts hitting the high day Momo scanner. This one, if you look at the daily chart, it's very clear what this stock likes to do. It likes to pop and then immediately sell off hard. So I'm not trying to hold this stock and let it run crazy. I'm scalping this one because it shows that every time, and at least in the past 3 months, every time it's popped up, it is sold off 100% of the move. So this is not a stock I want to get stuck in. I'm just taking my wins and I'll move on. But this hit the high of day Momo scanner. You can hear the other chat rooms jumping into it as well, creating even more momentum, and it gets a good pop. And if you look at the daily chart here, we're kind of at a significant level to break out over too. So this was also one I was watching yesterday. So when I heard it hit the scanners, it was already familiar. It was already on watch, so to speak, from yesterday. So that's why I was so eager to jump right into it. 250.
Let's take a starter on that. Long CHCI.
LOW Lowe's on their conference call.
I'm long CHCI 208.
1.1% in November, 7.7% in December,
High right now is
and
215.
3.4% in January. That's Nima Oscar listed.
CHCI has a nice daily chart.
Out half at 220. If you look at CHCI, every time it pops, it likes to drop, so be careful on it.
230. So I'd watch it maybe over 230 for an ad.
Out the rest at 221.
45 a.m. The Chicago PMI for February 64.2 is the consensus.
So the next play is ZSAN, ZSAN. This one has been just going kind of nutso for no reason the past 2 days. and I thought I would get maybe one pop today, and that's kind of what I was playing for. So if you look at the 1 minute chart right in the middle of the screen here, you can see that it's kind of making these higher lows. Every time it drops down, it makes a higher low. The first one was out of the open. The second one was about 6-7 minutes ago, and now the last one was at $7. And every time it bounces to the same level, that 716 level. So I buy in thinking we're going to break to the upside of that, which would also coincide with the 5 minute chart, kind of going red to green on the 5 minute chart. If you look at the 5 minute chart, it looks like it's due to pop to the upside. And I do think that if that 716 level would have broken, it would have ran, but it just didn't do it. And I held this for a very long time, much longer than I'm comfortable with. Honestly, I should have. I probably should have sold and just waited for that 716 level to get volume and break, instead of just hold and hope, because it ended up losing about 14 cents on this on 2,000 shares. So this was a pretty decent loss, but nonetheless, it was the smart decision to get out when I did, because I think it ended up getting down towards $6 shortly thereafter. So if a stock, like, as much as it hurt to take that 14-cent loss, which was almost $300, it could have been way worse. It could have been a $2,000 loss. So that's why when a stock doesn't do what I thought it was going to do, I cut it loose, I move on. I'm long ZSAN at 715.
Coming up at 10, pending home sales for January, plus
Alright,
0.30%.
stopped out. So that's my third loss, done for the day, down $2,800. Giving back some of yesterday's gains, which is disappointing.
Out ZSAN minus 14.
It is what it is. So
Thought I could go.
throwing the towel today,
Probably should have gotten out a
back
little
at it.
sooner and just waited for that 716 break, but
Unfortunately,
whatever.
I did not fill out my entry on AHPI.
So BEL, this is a news play. You'll hear Benzinga come on and say that some newspaper, I think it was in England, is saying that BEL is a buyout target. And when I hear that, I immediately buy it. It pops over 12, comes right back down, heavy selling. I'm willing to sit in it for just a little bit because it's only moved 20 cents. So, back in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, the absolute worst case scenario is that I lose 20 cents, which would be $400, which would be bad, but I'm green on the day still. I think, like I said, it pops over 12 and then comes right back down. So I'm thinking to myself, it's got to get one more chance to get over my entry. And I think I get in at 11.95 is what my entry is. So I'm just trying to get green on it. There's a lot of selling pressure around 12. So, I take what the stock is giving me and move on. If it doesn't break high a day, that's a good sign here. It just went candle over candle after a pullback.
BEL. The Times of the UK reports that IHG has made an approach to acquire Bravo Echo, that being circulated by traders now. IHG has made an approach to acquire Belmont Bravo Echo Lima, according to the UK Times.
So APHB is my next trade. This one, there's a couple things going for it that I really, well, three things really that I really liked about this. Well, maybe four. First one is it's a trader Rolodex kind of stock, meaning I've traded it before, I'm familiar with it, I know it can move, yada, yada, yada. I've had success with it before. So knowing that I've played it before, when it hits my scanners, I'm immediately jumping on it. I want to see what's up. Second thing is, if you look at the daily chart, we're kind of looking to break, you know, a significant level here on the daily chart for the next kind of pop. Third, it's at that half dollar range, you know, $half whole dollar range that a lot of people like to jump in on to get, you know, a little bit of a pop. So when I see it hit my scanners, you know, I'm willing to jump in on this thing. And the fourth thing being is there's a nice block, 11,000 shares at 145 there, that, you know, worst case scenario, I'll just sell my shares into if it looks like it's just going to drop. So it's a nice backdrop to it. So, you know, really in my mind, when I get into this thing, I'm only risking 3 cents, $60 for a potential win of, you know, maybe $100, you know, some kind of move over 50, maybe even more if it really brings in the volume. But so I get in, the volume comes in, and then all of a sudden that block, that backstop at 145 just disappears, which can happen, obviously. It's someone else saying, I'm not interested anymore. But when that disappeared, I got out. I was kind of a little frustrated. But, you know, it didn't work out for me, and, you know, that's trading sometimes. So the break of 147 is important on APHB, and then you got a little bit of a block at 148. Then maybe people jump in for the 50-cent break, but I would just scalp on the other side of 50. Other side of 50. All right, I'm jumping in here at 148. Thought volume was going to come in, but it didn't. Stop loss will be 145. That block at 145. Here it goes. Come on. Ugh. The freaking block is gone now. That's going to kill the move, so now I'm just looking for an exit. While that was going on, a large chat room, Jason Bond Picks, they bought MYSZ. I knew they would bring momentum into this stock. If you look at the daily chart, it looks really good for a swing trade. And so I went long at this point and, you know, kind of sold into that volume spike that I knew a large chat room would bring. Jason Bond just bought MYSZ. I'm out my APHB. -2. I'm long MYSE 161. I'm out 166. This next trade was a news play, MAC. Turns out that Third Point had a position on this stock and they're pressing for a sale. So I jump in right when I hear that, and I end up selling for a loss because I didn't do what I thought it would do, which ended up being really frustrating because as soon as I sold, about 3 or 4 minutes later, this thing jumped $1. So it would have been a $2,000 win for me, but it turned out to be a loss. But you know, sometimes that's trading.
MAC, chatter Third Point. It's unconfirmed chatter that Third Point is pressing for a sale. Unconfirmed chatter circulated.
The next trade is IPI. This one was a Form 4 play. Someone within the company bought a significant amount of shares at the price of $3.48, which is, you know, a penny below where the stock is currently. So I thought, you know, when that would come out, a lot of times that'll pop the stock. So I bought 4,000 shares here, and it didn't even budget. So when I saw that, I ended up selling, and I lost about $40 on the trade. And that's how I ended the morning. My last trade was on, you know, a short for on ECYT that I basically lost about $10 on. Didn't work out, but that was my last trade. End of the day, or end of the morning, up $566. Like I said, I give about $200 more of that back before the close, but definitely a wild day. Some things worked really well, other things just chopped me out. So I'm thankful to be up on February about $10,000, and just happy that February is gone because I know it was a hard month. It's probably one of the hardest months that we've seen in a couple of years, to be honest. So I'm looking forward to March and seeing, you know, hopefully a little bit of momentum come back to these small caps, and you know, just a little bit easier trading time overall. All right, guys, I will see you in the next video.